Hey, what's up, Facebook? I want you guys to come in. I want to have this very important conversation with the world. So as soon as you come in, I want you to just let me know that you're here and let's have a talk because we're gonna have a talk today. It's I just got a call from a previous guest that was on the program, and what I just heard was so disturbing. It was it was so disturbing. But I want you guys to come into the room that we have this discussion right there. Right now in my home, I'm chilling after the show. I get to come down in my basement, chill out a little bit, relax, and especially for the weekend time. No work tomorrow, so it just was my opportunity. This is my chill spot. This is where I come, and this is where I get my sanity. Because if it wasn't for a place like this where it's quiet and by myself, I don't have any. At this point, I don't have a lot of noise and a lot of things, so I get to think a little bit. Um, but anyway, I want to talk to you guys about something. Big up Ian Baker, I see you there. Shabini, hey Shabini, what's up? What's up, my brother? Big up yourself. Again, guys, come in. I want to talk about this very important. Uh, Brenda Bascom, big up yourself. How you doing? Curtin, Cotton Candy, how you doing? All right, so everybody else who not seeing this now will have to go back and watch it afterwards, right? Brenda, big up yourself. So here's what happened. Earlier this week, I had a guest on the program. The guest came in to share her story. Now, her story was very touching. And the reason how I came in touch with that guest is because she contacted me and she was under severe depression. She was under severe depression. So I felt like I was talking her off. I was talking her from doing something very bad to herself. So I think it was right at the point where she's saying she's very frustrated and all of that stuff. So I said, okay, no problem, just keep talking to me, just keep talking. We had this conversation only to find out that the guest was suffering from depression. Based on the catalyst for her depression was that she has been severely abused, and it's affecting her entire life. So as what we do on Ride Along support group, we always try to listen to the people that contact us because we don't know what they're going through. I ain't trying to give her no advice before I hear exactly what she was saying. Right, good afternoon, Pinky. So, cut a long story short, I've been having continuous conversation with this guest. And a few days ago, when she said that she wanted to come on the program, she wanted to talk her truth. But for many different reasons, she did or didn't want to reveal her identity or whatever the case might be. We honored that wasn't a problem. We facilitated that her identity was not supposed to be revealed. Not because she is in fear of anyone in her circle or the people that she was talking about, because she didn't intend to call any names. Simply because when you come out, when you are abused, especially in a small island, coming out is fearful for a lot of people because of the public pressure that happens. So she didn't want to conceal her identity for no other reason than not the public pressure that one undergoes when they reveal any dramatic story or incident happening to them. So we facilitated that, and she tell her story. Now, I believe that we as a people, we should be bigger than that, right? And understand that if you are in a situation and you are abused, or you were abused at any point in your life, you didn't put it on yourself. If you're walking on the street right now and somebody take a baseball bat and hit you upside the head, you didn't ask them to hit you upside the head. They basically took it upon themselves to knock you upside the head. Same with abuse. When you are abused, and in a lot of cases in the Caribbean, there is widespread sexual abuse where girls and boys, they were from some way or another sexually abused by their family member or a friend. Rarely ever it's someone that they don't know. So coming out and talking your truth is sometimes to be the hardest, the most difficult thing. So the person decided to come out and tell a story. Now, you won't believe that after the person came out and tell their story, for somehow, some information got leaked because some people was more interested in finding out who the person was than to hear her full story. Somehow, her identity of some sort got released and all of that stuff. And you wouldn't believe the public pressure that is put on this girl right now. So much so that people are teasing and ridiculing that particular individual for something that she didn't even put on herself. She didn't ask to be a part of what happened to her. She didn't go out there and tell whoever to do this to her. This happened to her. She didn't ask for it. So she now, because of some people who was more interested in finding out what or who the person was, rather than hear the story and try to fix the problem. Because, I saw somebody ask what was that about. So because people was interested in the TB of it, to find out who, what, where, and all of this stuff, rather than to see the story and see how we could prevent something like that from happening to somebody else. Somehow, her identity got revealed, and exactly what we did not expect to happen is exactly what's happening now. Now, I think that we are bigger than this. As a people, as a community, we have to understand that things happen in our lives, men as much as well as women. And if someone is strong enough to come out and tell you their story, as the lady did, came out and tell her story, I think as a community, we're supposed to respect that. We're supposed to appreciate that. Because for the young men within the community or wherever that is teasing and ridiculing that girl, think about, you may have a sister and you don't know if something could happen to your sister. Would you want people to come out and tease your sister and call her all kind of bitch and hoe and man taking you and all of this kind of stuff? She didn't ask for that. She didn't ask to be in the situation that she was in. For those of you who know the story, you know the story. If you know the story, you know the story. I'm not going to go back and rehash the story all over again. If you saw the program or you saw the story, you know it. I'm not going to go back and call and identify anything else. But what I am shocked about and what I am very, 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 very upset about is the public shame that is happening to this girl simply because something happened to her. She came out and talked about it, and then she's getting ridiculed for it. So what's she supposed to do? What's she supposed to do? You tell me. What's she supposed to do? She's supposed to go and hide up in the woods or some way, or go and hang herself because somebody decided to disrespect her? What would you like if, for the men, for the guys in the area, probably some of them are watching, if something were to happen to your sister, if something were to happen to your family member, what would you like? Would you like for somebody to ridicule them? Already, it is difficult for us as black people, and we make it worse for our own self. We make it worse for our own self. People. Child molestation is happening widespread in the Caribbean, right? Almost 80%. Sometimes I just shock when I ask my friends and them, my female friends. Sometimes 7 out of 10 female friends that I talk to, 7 out of 10 of them was sexually molested. 7 out of 10 sexually molested. Right? So it's a problem. Why are so much of our men and young boys are getting into and feeling that they feel no way about abusing or pushing up themselves or having sex with someone when they did never even allow it? You can't do that. The problem is sexual molestation is a problem. The victim is not the person to be shamed. The person that's supposed to be shamed is the person who actually do the dirty deeds. The person who actually do the dirty deeds. And in this particular case, the individual who did it, that's the person who needs to be shamed, not the victim. So for everybody who out there who going up to the individual and making all kind of, making her feel like if she did something to herself, stop it. It's shameful. We're supposed to meet her, even if you did know who the person was, you're supposed to meet her and give her a hug and say, oh, I'm sorry that you went through something like this. Not calling her name and ridiculing her. For what? Now, the person just called me. She just called me. She was upset. She went through a period of time where she was suicidal. Up to last week, she was suicidal because of what happened to her. She didn't ask for it. So I'm calling on men, young boys, women, sisters, brothers, whatever, wherever. Please, all you, let's break the cycle. Let's break the cycle. If you know somebody who's going through a traumatic experience and they share their story, or they tell you something, or they express themselves to you, that doesn't mean that you have to turn around and laugh at them for telling their story, because they didn't ask to be in that situation. They never asked to be a part of that. They didn't ask to be raped. They didn't ask to be molested. They didn't ask to be a part of that. So I'm calling on the people right now that is ridiculing the individual. I don't want to speak specific, but the people who are supposed to know, they know what I'm talking about. Stop it. Because that could have been your sister. That could have been your family member. That could have been somebody in your family, and you wouldn't like it for them. Right, Akeem? Break the cycle. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's break the cycle. If you know someone who has been molested, you meet them on the street, you give them a hug, and you say, I am sorry that you went through such traumatic experience. I am sorry that this happened to you. Right? You need to have empathy. Yes, exactly, Victoria. You don't laugh at them. You don't call them and say, all kind of man taking you. Huh? Want to offer them money like if they didn't ask for this. So men, we need to do better than that. We need to do better than that. So women, I want all you to talk to all your brothers. And if all your brothers are doing it, I want all you to tell them to stop it. You walking down the street, somebody sexually molest you, you never ask them to do it to you. They did it to you. You're the victim. Alright? So the people that are doing it, I'm asking you to stop it. Stop it. When you see this young lady, you walk up to her and you give her a hug. And you say, I'm sorry that this happened to you. To the family, let me tell all you, she didn't ask for this. So for the family, I want all you to come together and go to her and say, I apologize that I wasn't there to defend you, to help you, to protect you. That's what the family is supposed to do. If you are sitting there and you're ridiculing her, you are a part of the problem, not a part of the solution. So the family who is doing this, the family who is going out there now And instead of consoling the individual, instead of consoling the person, you want to create barriers and say how you put in a shame on the name of the family. When it's not so. She didn't put no shame on the family. Whoever abused her put a shame on the family. That's who all you need to deal with. That's who you need to call. That's how you're supposed to get upset with. Not the individual. Not the individual. And that was the exact same reason after the show, everybody coming, who is she? Where is she from? All of this stuff. People was more interested in finding out and identifying the person. Why? Why you want to know who she is for? So you could meet her on the street and call her out of her name? Why? Why? If you're not calling to tell her that you're going to send some money to help her situation, or you're going to try to assist her in some way, why you want to find out who she is? People calling on my phone, all kind of hours, oh, I know who she is. It's like, it wasn't a jigsaw puzzle for her to try to solve who the mystery person was. That wasn't the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to bring forth a story that has always been and continue to plague a lot of people, a lot of women, primarily, men as well, little boys as well, in the community. Breaking the cycle of that. That is what the show was about. The show was about bringing that to light. The show wasn't about you calling me and asking me who the person is. Or where's she from? Oh, I know where she's from. And apparently, right before the program ended, I guess some people saw her name show up on the screen of some sort or whatever. They think they see whatever. Right? And they use that as, yes, we know who she is. Let's go and tease her. Let's go and call her. Let's go and call her bitch. Let's go and call her hoe. Let's go and call her this name. Why? What did she do to deserve that? She didn't do nothing to deserve that. She was just being a little girl. She was being a little girl, doing what little girls do. Running around, playing, living her little life. Somebody took her innocence away. She didn't ask for the person to take her innocence away. Why are you ridiculing the victim? Why are you ridiculing the victim? Now, I have pulled that video. So that show, I just pulled it off of the site. It's no longer there. But it goes to show the next person who is sexually molested, they'll be fearful and scared to tell their story. So you know what? The abuser is getting a pass. The abuser is getting a pass. So no longer would the abuser feel shame about what they just did. They won't feel shame about it because you know why? Because they're getting a pass. It's a free walk. It's a free pass. Because they could do it and nobody go talk about it. Right? This cycle need to stop. And I'm telling all you, if all you have friends, if all you have brothers, if all you have sisters, if all you have people that's doing this, I want all you to tell them to stop it. Stop it. I want all you to tell them to stop it. You see this happening, you say stop it. The victim is not the person, the victim didn't do it to themselves. And I can't stress that enough. Alright? This is why I wanted to come on here and talk about this thing here really quickly. It's sad. It's sad. Now, you know what that did to the young girl? It put her in another state of depression again. Where she was already in a state of depression. After she told her story, she came and she said, oh, I felt so good. I get this off of my chest. People was calling. She helped about 7 different people. After the person told their story, people inbox me and say, yes, I too want to tell my story. They felt empowered now to tell their story. Yeah, that's what happened. They felt like now they have someone now that they could say, yes, okay, well, I heard her story. I'm going to share my story as well. She empowered people. And that's what's supposed to happen. So guys, I'm telling all you again. If all you're into that victim shaming thing, all you need to stop it. Because if something happened to one of you guys here, if something happened, all you would never like for somebody to shame all you, to talk about all you, to call all your bitch, to call all your hoes, and to call all your names. Alright, I see the comments coming up. I can't catch up with all the comments. Let's talk, right? So we have to start all the process all over again. Instead of the person, she was feeling so good, she feeling so upright, she feeling good about herself and everything like that. Now she called me, she crying, she stressed out again. And who knows? Just last Saturday, right? Last Saturday, she took a bottle of pills, and she was about to go kill herself. You think that she wanted to do that? Because of depression and people don't understand what happens. Alright? She was about to kill herself. She felt liberated. She felt free after she shared her story, after she helped so much people. Now it's back to square one again because of the ridicule and embarrassment that she's been faced. After the show, a few people call me and they say, you know what, you should release, you should talk about who, you should let people know who the person is that did it to her. I say, listen, it's not about that. It's not about putting people out there like that. If she feels to do it when on her time, that is for her to do. Alright? I want the cycle to stop. It's up to her. Let she share her story. Let she get it off her chest. Whatever decision she chooses to make later, I am not going to encourage her, yea or nay. Right? I'm not gonna tell her yea or nay. She do whatever she wants to do. She needs help. For those of you who saw the story again, if you saw the story, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want nobody call me and ask me, who is this young lady? Right? And the people who call me and ask me, who is she? And tell her to call and all of that stuff just to back and all and melee. Well, you know who all is. And I don't opt for the melee and all of that kind of thing there. I'm not gonna get involved in them kind of conversation. Alright. So again, guys, if you know anybody that doing victim shaming and shaming the people who come out and tell their story, and then anytime they come on, you want to tell them they're lying, or you want to make them feel like they're making up a story. Let me ask you a question. Who would make up a story about being sexually molested just to come on what a show for what? For 15 seconds of fame to talk about the fact that he was molested? Nobody's gonna make up a story about that. Nobody's gonna sit there and make up a story about they were sexually molested. Nobody wouldn't do that. So if somebody come and tell the story about they being sexually molested, rest assured it's the truth. Also, rest assured they're doing it with discomfort because it's embarrassing to come out and tell your story about something as personal and private as somebody overpowering you and raping you or having sex with you and you don't want it. Right? Whenever somebody come and tell a story about being sexually molested, rest assured they don't do it for 15 seconds of fame, because this is not no good fame. This is not no kind of, this is not like I pay them to come on the show to come and tell the story. We don't pay nobody to come and tell it. We don't get no financial, nothing from it. If they come on the show to share their story, it's because they do it because they want to get it off their chest. Right? There's countless amount of people who came on and tell their story. Countless amount of people who came and tell their story. And when they finish, they feel like the only gratification that they have at the end of the day is that people hear their story and it go help one person. When somebody come and talk about they have HIV, you think they're doing it for promotion? When somebody come and talk about they were sexually molested by the family member, you think they're doing that because they want people to see them on the show? What kind of promotion is that? People see them every day. They know all of the ridicule that they get. They're walking down the street. They on the bus. People see. So guys, I say all of this to say, let me sum it up. Stop the victim shaming. Right? Stop the victim shaming. If you know somebody that doing it, if you see somebody doing it, just stop them. Tell them stop it. Tell them stop it. Right? A lot of people knew this story long before. I'll just stop it. Okay? That's all I have to say, guys. There will be a lot more people that come on, but when you see somebody come on and telling their story and pouring out their heart and telling you what happened to them in their life, rest assured that they go through a lot of sometimes, let me tell you something, behind the scenes, what you don't see is a whole, sometimes it takes 2 weeks to get somebody build up their strength to come and talk, you know. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes 2 weeks to get somebody just ready and prepared to come and tell their story. And when they come and the minutes before we go live and I'm talking to them, I say, you ready? They're shaking like this. I have to calm them down. So it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. It's just me and you talking. Let's just talk about it. Get your story out there. It is difficult for a victim to come and share their story. It is difficult. It is not an easy thing. Some people cannot even stand up in front of a camera and say 2 words together to make a perfect sentence. And think about somebody coming in front of a camera and telling their whole story about something as personal as whatever the story is that we just cover on the program. And you would sit there and laugh at them at the end of it. And you would sit there and tell them and call them $8 hoe and your family taking you. All of this kind of stuff. All you're wrong for this one. Trust me, all you're wrong for this one. All you're wrong for this one. And if somebody is doing that, you know somebody that doing that, I want to tell them to stop it. Victim shaming, no. I want to do this for me, please. Please. If you have 100 people on the live here, and I'm sure you have about 5 friends. And their 5 friends have about 5 friends. Already we up in the thousands that of people we're talking to already. Victim shaming, we need to stop it. Alright? Alright guys, that's all I have to say for now. Catch you guys on Monday. Alright, bye.